Watching The Bad Batch Season 2 was a joy, and a lot of it had to do with an unlikely source, Crosshair. Especially after watching episode 3 of Season 2, something crossed my mind, no pun intended, that I see on the horizon with how development is looking for the series. And so I'm calling it now. Crosshair is the best character in the series, and is going to be the unlikely favorite out of the Clone Force 99 troopers. On top of that, I'll add the most popular clone in all of Star Wars going forward. I'm itching to explain why, so make sure to leave your thoughts below in the comment section and drop a like for your boy if you enjoyed this video. Now onto Crosshair. Load it up. Yo. Season 1 of The Bad Batch did a really good job of antagonizing Crosshair from jump. His bitter bid for leadership against Hunter is very stereotypical and nostalgic, if like me you grew up watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But even before, when they were introduced in Season 7 of the Clone Wars, it was very apparent that Crosshair was deemed to be the troublemaker. By introducing the term Rex to the Star Wars universe and even getting on Rex's bad side over and over again.
I'm in charge now, and I've got a plan to get into that cyber center.
If your plans are so good, why did Commander Cody have to call us in? I think you're letting your personal feelings get in the way, because you left him for dead at the Citadel. I had no choice. You hear me? Oh, I don't blame you. I would have left him for dead too. Besides, he's just another Reg.
By the time their own show came about, he immediately graduated to the bad apple role by willingly taking part of Order 66, by trying to kill a fleeing Jedi, and it doesn't help his case that it was a very young Padawan. There's really no defending that, since Clone Force 99 was not affected by the inhibitor chip like the regular clones. Especially when they returned to Kamino, he immediately betrayed his brothers for a position with the newly informed Empire. In combination with all the atrocities he committed after, it was fairly easy to sway us, the audience, into labeling Crosshair as the bad guy. Vilifying him all throughout Season 1 made it exceptionally easy to overlook who he was at the core and how likable of a character he is.
What? Crosshair a likable character? He's a pawn, a toy soldier, and a traitor.
You're right. He is a pawn of the Empire that exploits his talents on the battlefield, and seemingly betrayed his brothers for a leadership role. But was he really in the wrong though? Yes. No. It's really complicated. All of us already having insight on the Galactic Empire throughout events taking place between episodes 3 and 6 are neglecting a crucial factor here. That nobody was supposed to know Order 66 took place. Not even the troopers who executed the order understood the details because they were brainwashed. And sure, that doesn't really help the argument since none of the Clone Force 99 troopers weren't affected. They were just confused on what was taking place when Palpatine's transmission came through though. At the core, all the clones are soldiers. That's what they are, all they know, all they're good at. And throughout the series, we are reminded over and over of what soldiers do.
Good soldiers follow orders. Good soldiers follow orders.
Good soldiers follow orders.
Good soldiers follow orders. We're good soldiers. We followed orders. And for what?
Even though they didn't understand the order, the statement rings true. If soldiers don't follow orders, there is instability, resulting in a chaotic military structure and thus vulnerabilities for the enemy to exploit. So in their state of confusion, the protocol was to be informed by the actions of the soldiers that understood the order. Therefore, observing the situation at hand, technically, who was the good soldier? Those who executed or those who questioned orders? Of course, we're not factoring out their humanity, but even when they found out the details of Order 66, why wouldn't they execute? Their squad works alone and don't have much experience working with Jedi. Even in minor instances with Anakin and Deepa, there isn't an intimate bond developed throughout consecutive missions like Rex and Cody and the remaining Reg platoons do. So what's the basis for them questioning orders? A minor experience with a young and naive Kanan? Look, I'm not saying that Crosshair should have deleted him, nor do I even believe that's what he was going to do. even though it's really hard to prove that, given how he didn't hesitate to shoot at Caleb and was eager to execute Tarkin's orders. My point is, Crosshair's a soldier through and through, which is why he didn't need detail to understand Order 66. By siding with the new directive shows discipline, and by taking on missions without question, shows he's dependable. He's not taking this opportunity to side with the Empire, but it's just his way to stay true to his core as a soldier. Although he was tasked to hunt his brothers throughout Season 1, by the end, it shows that his insistence to follow orders was his way of looking out for the crew's best interest. If they followed protocol, there's less problems, and they wouldn't be on the run from the Empire. This puts him at a crossroads because, unlike his brothers, he knew from jump, Republic or Empire, no matter what the regime calls itself, their roles to serve won't be any different. And so this puts him at odds with the loyalty to his family and his purpose. Given by the events taking place in the finale of the first season, and when we meet him again in episode 3 of season 2, choosing the safety of his brothers over his new squad, and in that action choosing to suffer the consequences, spending 32 days stranded on Kamino after his destruction, before anyone from the Empire recovered him, and on top of that, losing his rank while serving a weasel like Rampart. And thus brings me full circle to my main point of this video. While the other members of Clone Force 99 are having their hardships, being on the run and safeguarding Omega, it's nothing compared to Crosshair, who is literally in the middle of the fray, serving a regime that openly deems him and his kind as obsolete, while all of them loyally serve because it's just who they are. Moment after moment staying disciplined while having to deal with the fact that his pack chose correctly in abandoning the Empire. Then watching as Regs express disdain for what they are being ordered to do while laying their lives on the line. And this is why I say Crosshair is the best character, because he treads the line between a good soldier and being a good brother. So it's no surprise that most of us found the episodes involving him to be the most intriguing and satisfying. Whether taking orders from Rampart, running his own Black Ops unit, reuniting with Cody, sent on a suicide mission and then being experimented on, he has to make tough decisions that will make the people closest to him raise their eyebrows. Taking out a recruit in front of his peers to set an example of his insubordination. Taking down the governor of Essex to protect Cody from being reprimanded. Taking revenge on Nolan for letting Mayday and his men pass away. To finally refusing to give away info on his brothers and risking his life to warn them of Dr. Hemlock. Going through all of this alone in every aspect. Not even the Regs are fond of him. This will develop his character morally better and stronger because at the end of the day, tough times make tough men and Crosshair is him. Remember, you heard it here first. I'm surprised how much I've come to admire Crosshair. Not only for his marksmanship and ability as a soldier, now more so as a deeply complicated character with room for the best development over this series run. Again, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe for future Star Wars content dropping on the channel. Make sure to check out the link to my Star Wars playlist in the description, and the first comment pinned to the top. You know the vibes. It's Kaizoku Sleven. May the 4th be with you.